Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Pink Edit podcast, hosted by yours truly, Eleanor. Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing? Oh, I've actually it's been such a busy period recently because I'm in my final parts of university right now, which is it's not weird to say, but also unfamiliar. It's more unfamiliar. It's like speaking rather than odd because I know university is going to come to an end at some point. So yeah, I've been very occupied with my assessments. The whole part of my course is literally just assessments. I get coursework and I do get some exams, but my exams are like take home exams, which are like 24-hour exams that I get to do in the comfort of my own home, and they're online. Yeah, I cannot go back to just like sit in an exam hall doing an exam. Yeah, this course has basically ruined me to do that, but yeah, I've been quite busy trying to just finish my last couple assessments and then just waiting for my final exam, which will be on Monday. So I hope, I get to just finish it all and then that's the end of uni. Oh my god, yeah, it doesn't feel real. So yeah, but obviously, coming close to finishing all my stuff, I get to just kind of chill and rest in the evenings and stuff. And if you guys don't follow me on TikTok, recently I just bought the new Tomodachi game, which I'm so in love with. I had the one on the DS, and of course I had to buy the one from the Nintendo because I was also getting major FOMO watching everybody else play this game on TikTok. But I actually really love this game because with the amount of freedom and uncensorship on this game, it's amazing. Yeah, some of the stuff I've seen on TikTok is actually quite funny. So props to everyone who's so creative with that. But some of the characters I've made on this, I'm actually so proud of. Like I made um I made Jason Todd and I made Dick Grayson and I drew their eyes. I also of course drew Jason Scar. I know it's just a line, but I feel so proud of it. I'm usually not that great at drawing or anything, so yeah. And I also made Starfire, I made Postman Pat. Or you just honestly, if you want a video on that, I'll just do it on TikTok. I've already posted one video of some of the characters I created in this game, but I'm so in love with this game. So I do recommend to people if you want to save up and buy a game for your Switch, I definitely recommend the Tomodachi Life one. So since I was a kid, I've always struggled with self-confidence. If Mostly, actually, it's not like me physically saying anything, just like, oh, I don't feel so confident, which I'm not being funny. I have said that, but it's not about everything. And I'm sure a lot of you also probably have experienced struggling with self-confidence. It is such a an envious thing for me. Like I envy people who have a lot of self-confidence and they're very confident in basically everything or majority, which I don't have, majority things they have. Anyways, in this episode today, we're talking about self-confidence and confidence in general, and then also just being self-conscious too, because obviously they go together. So I probably would reckon that some of you who listen also have had experience to this or is experiencing this, which I mean, till this day, I am still kind of struggling. It's not like a thing that like is kept in my mind all the time, but then when it's pointed out, then it kind of just lingers there for a little while, but then I go back to like not thinking about it a lot. But my body language actually just says otherwise. Since I was little, I actually did have more feeling of like the self-conscious stuff, because I used to do ballet. So of course, if I didn't think I was good, or I wasn't getting main roles in shows or whatever performance, or like getting a good grade on my ballet exams, I always think I am not good enough, and I will never be good enough. And it also doesn't help that part of my character is wanting words of affirmation, being kind of praised in a sense, like just being told that I'm doing a good job. Because personally, for me, it reassures me knowing that I am actually doing a good job, and that, I can confidently say that, I can do it. I have the skills to. I think some of this personally is like part of me thinking I have no, as in like, I guess talent in a sense. So like some people are very artistic, or people are good at dancing, other people are like good at a sport, they're very athletic, some are really good at running, some are very academically gifted, so they're really good at academia or whatever, which I never really found anything that I was like, say, really talented in. Everything that I do, I feel like in those spaces that I'm just mediocre. Like, oh, you got the basics, that's about it, really, but you're not great. But I would never actually like project this onto anybody. I do question it. I just ask people, just like, oh, do you think it's good? Mostly this question is just aimed at my mom. I feel the most confident every time I ask my mum, and I know that's probably saying like, oh, that's having bias because that's your own mother, but my mum's Asian, so she can be very brutal. My parents can be quite brutal sometimes, not brutal but real, and so they don't lie to me about this stuff. I know some parents do just because it's their kids and they don't want to hurt their kids, but from the way I grown up, it's more like it's the truth, and so I know I could get a good solid opinion from my parents. But yeah, like I said, I always struggled with it, and because obviously like I did ballet and then I do dance now, and I don't need to be told, I just compare, like I unconsciously compare myself to other people in the room who dance, and especially to those who are like really good at dancing. And then I look at myself dance, and then I'm like, oh, I'm actually not that good, even though I do have friends who tell me, oh, you're really good at dancing, because obviously they see my dance videos as well. But I don't know, I feel like personally when I look at the way I move, it looks a bit odd compared to how other people look when they dance. Personally, I think it's my long limbs. I do blame my limbs sometimes. Like, my arms are hella long. So, personally, I feel like it's a bit awkward. Like, what do I do with the rest of my arms? Because when you look at, like, for example, K-pop idols, like, yes, some of them are quite tall and stuff, but their limbs aren't, like, insanely long. And I feel like my ones are quite long. That is, like, basically spaghetti. It just goes everywhere. And when I try to make it look sharp, then it looks like I've put no energy into the dance when I was going full out. So yeah, I struggle with that a lot. I mean, another thing that I get self-conscious, and I feel like this is very selective when I get self-conscious, and it's about my body. And I know this is quite a sensitive topic to some, so if this is triggering to you anything, go ahead and skip. or just come back to a different episode. Please take care of yourself. So don't force yourself to listen to this if you get triggered by it. But obviously I'm talking about bodies and, body dysmorphia and stuff like that. But there's your warning. Please take care of yourselves. But yes, I don't get self-conscious about my body very, very often because my style of clothing, I like to be comfy because I guess it's a bit of a sensory issue that I have because when certain tops are like itchy or whatever, I tend to then not wear them anymore. And that's more of like, the cute going out top, stuff like that. If they're uncomfortable, I'll wear it once and then I won't touch it again, which I know is a waste of clothing because I find them really cute. But if they are uncomfortable as hell, they'll be just in the back of my wardrobe and I would not touch them again until then. When I need to clean out my closet, I'll go and donate it instead. But when it comes to them wearing slightly tighter tops, because even though I prefer comfy clothing like oversized t-shirts and stuff, sometimes I like to wear more like baby tees or form-fitting tees, and then obviously that's when my self-consciousness comes out, being self-conscious about my body, because I am not, say, overly heavy for my height and my age. Apparently I'm actually underweight for my height and age, but I do have a bit of a belly pudge, and I have worked out before. I've been to the gyms, stuff like that, and I actually couldn't get it to flatten at all, and I have shit muscle endurance or just no muscle whatsoever, right? And so I get self-conscious then, especially when it comes to dance as well, like because with the type of clothing people wear, they wear like active wear basically as well, which I don't have an issue with, but it's just then I unconsciously compare myself to others. Literally, like I had dance class yesterday and obviously a lot of them are wearing more like tighter tops, as in like baby tees, vests, stuff like that, right? And then I'm looking at myself and I think, because obviously I'm quite tall as well, and I think I'm huge. I feel like I'm quite big compared to everyone else, and that I should be losing weight and not binge eating as much, because I don't binge eat all the time, but I have food late, and that is part of the reason why then people gain weight, because if you eat past like a certain time, I think it's around like 9 p.m, because your body slowly shuts down to rest, so your digestive system is slower, and basically obviously if you don't digest basically all the fats and everything before your body is slowly going to sleep, that turns into fat when you're sleeping and stuff like that, because you're not being active. And so yeah, I have been in and out of like weight. My weight has been fluctuating all the time, and the lightest I've been recently is actually when I got home for Christmas. I weigh myself, not that the weighing scale is that accurate, but it gives like I could do a rough estimate, right? And that was the time I was the lightest this academic year. And then when I went home for Easter, I weighed myself and I gained another, like, I think was it 4 or 5k, and I got really, really sad about it. But at the same time, even though I say I'm self-conscious, I actually don't really do much to fix that, because I'm actually quite a lazy person. When it's when I have free time, I just want to just lie in bed and scroll, or lie in bed and sleep. I love my sleep, or just sit there and eat. I rather do those than actually do some ab exercises. I don't mind going for walks. I love walks, but it's just that I wouldn't go out my way to go and do ab exercises or anything. I did do that actually between September and December when I'm at uni. After work, before I take a shower, I literally pull out my yoga mat and I do ab exercises and I do squats. I actually don't do much other exercise when I go to gym either. I only target abs and core and basically any ass exercises like squats and stuff. But yeah, that is me being real. I just don't do anything about it. So yeah, I get self-conscious on quite a lot of things. I don't really let it bother me as often, but there are just times where then it does trigger it, where then it goes from unconsciously comparing myself to then being conscious of it, and then I think about it for a bit and then I totally forget about it. And actually with my self-confidence, because I don't actually really care a lot of the time, but sometimes my mum would point it out with the way I'm standing or like my posture in general. She just goes that like, oh, why are you so slouched all the time? Like, you know, it seems like you don't really have much confidence because you are slouching and not having a good posture. I didn't know that tells about self-confidence, but apparently it does. Because this happens when basically I see my parents sometimes, especially my mum, because I don't see her as much as my dad sometimes. But it's like this conversation happens when I see my mum after a long while being at uni, and she comes down with my dad to see me, and she would just kind of say that. Not that it upsets me that much. I kind of think about it going like, maybe, and then I just totally forget about it. I don't really care. But honestly, I feel like sometimes in my low confidence, it's just that like I'm exhausted. I always feel exhausted. Literally the other night, I was so tired that I fell asleep at 6 p.m. and I slept until 9 a.m. the next day. Can you just, like, that is like, what, 15 hours of sleep, and I was still tired the next day. But that just showed how tired I was to be sleeping. That's like the longest I've ever slept. 6 p.m. I've never hit the hay at 6 p.m. and I was so surprised because I thought, oh, you know what, I'll just take a nap for like 2 hours and then I'll wake up. But I didn't. I was asleep until 9, and then my dad called me, because usually we call almost every night, and I literally picked up my phone to click the answer button, and my dad just went, oh. I go, yeah, I'm asleep. I've been asleep since 6, please. And I checked the time, and it was 9 o'clock. I was so surprised. I'm like, oh, okay. And then normally if that happens and my dad calls me at like 9, then I won't go back to sleep until, I don't know, 1 a.m. But no, I literally put my phone away again after that. My dad hung up, said sorry, and hung up, charged my phone, and I fell asleep till 9 a.m. I'm not joking. I'm so tired recently. So obviously I can't wait until my last exam on Monday, and then afterwards sleep in, just proper sleep in, where I don't have to worry about anything. And to be honest, with like the sleeping thing, I actually struggle to sleep a bit as well. Sometimes I want to try and fall asleep before 1 a.m, but I can't, and I struggle, and I just like lie there awake until I do fall asleep, which would be like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. And I hate that because I actually just want to sleep early and then wake up early and feel productive, because I've done that before. Yeah, it's really rare, but I have done that before, and it feels really nice to wake up early. And then, because usually I am not a morning showerer actually, but taking a shower in the morning actually feels so good too. I still take a shower every night, but if I do take a shower in the morning as well, that's an extra shower. But yeah, it feels so good, and like I feel like, yes, let's be productive, let's do something, I feel good about myself. But then when I wake up like 12 p.m, 1 p.m, I feel icky about myself. Like, it is just, basically it's like a not it situation, because you wake up like late afternoon, you're like, most of the day is already over, and because now it's summer, there's longer daylight, you just want to like, and it's nice and sunny, the weather's better, you just want to just be outside or like just enjoy the day because it's a longer day, and it's like nice weather or something. But honestly, think just talking about all this, I actually have not come up with a solution to help increase self-confidence because I am still struggling with this. And actually I will leave the comments on the Spotify version of this, because I know I turn off the comment section on the Spotify, but I'll keep it open on Spotify for this episode. But I just want to know if any of you have any advice for me, or even anybody else who's listening to this or reading the comments as well, any ways to help with the self-confidence. It doesn't have to be a big like thing, just small steps even is much better, because definitely if you want to change, start off with like small steps and then get used to that and then make it bigger steps, of course. But yeah, any advice to gain this confidence? Because personally my mind is like, I'm lazy and I don't give a fuck, so my confidence thing doesn't really bother me much, but it does irk me a lot sometimes that I'm not willing to change that just because I'm so lazy. And like for me it is hard to change it, because once you're lazy, you know, they're like really lazy. So yeah, if there's a way to just help with little habits or anything to help change that, that will be much appreciated. And also, if you're listening to YouTube or onto YouTube, what am I speaking? If you're listening to this on YouTube, go ahead as well in the comment section to just put any like advice you have on growing self-confidence and everything, because I feel like yeah, that is like one of the best things that people can start with. But honestly, I think the biggest thing that has been attacking my self-confidence lately is my skin on my face. For those who don't follow me on TikTok, I have dropped a few videos. Well, I don't know if a few, I think it was one. That's a few. Anyways, I dropped a video on telling you guys that I started my tretinoin journey. And for those who don't know what tretinoin is, it is a retinol cream that helps with acne, and I preferred wanting to use cream instead of like a pill or anything, because I know how Accutane can kind of ruin your internal organs and stuff, and I just wasn't willing to ruin any of my like organs just to fix my skin. And obviously on TikTok I came across tretinoin, and in the UK the only way you can get it is a doctor's appointment. So I booked that over for Easter break, and that was about a month and a half ago now. And the way tretinoin works is that it has excess vitamin A, so basically it dries out your skin. It helps pull the oils that creates the acne to the surface. So basically, just like Accutane, when you first use it, you'll purge, and then after a while it should start getting better. And a few side effects besides the purging is that you'll get very dry, flaky skin, and it's a long-term thing. It's not gonna fix, this cream doesn't fix your face like overnight. And so currently, the current time of me recording this, it'll be a month and a half since I started tretinoin. I think the worst part of the purging has gone now, but definitely like obviously a lot more like the whiteheads or yellow heads, you know, the pimples filled with pus, definitely has been surfacing to my face, and a lot of bumps onto my face, and I am now getting very conscious about it, because obviously you can't really put makeup on top to cover it, because the whole point of using Tret is to let your skin only use skincare. You're not supposed to really use makeup until basically your skin is starting to clear up. And obviously I'm in this 1.5 months in, and I'm just nervous that this whole purging bit won't be over by mid-July, because obviously I graduate and I rather have at least not perfect but good skin for graduation pictures and stuff, because you only graduate once. unless you do like masters or PhD, but I don't think I'll be doing that anytime soon. So I actually don't want like very bad skin to be then posted everywhere. And plus I feel like I'm getting stared at on the streets just because of how bad my skin has gotten recently. But I'm hoping it'll start to clear up soon. I mean, like I said, I've been on it for a month and a half, and I feel like the worst part of the purging is slowly going past now, because actually there's a difference on both sides of my face. So on the left side, it's more specifically my cheeks, the left side is a lot worse than the right side, because it's actually a bigger patch of the skin that this purging has occurred on. And so when I looked at my right side specifically, it's gone like it shrunk a little, the area, but it is still popping up with quite a few pimples. I'm currently using it 3 times a week now, which I use on Friday, Wednesday, and Monday evenings. So yeah, but like I said, that is the thing that makes me self-conscious the most, and is actually the one thing I've actually have action to sort out that makes me self-conscious. I've always tried to go to the doctors, look at skincare that might help with acne. Like, that's something I've actively done to not make myself feel like poo, is actually seeking out help for my skin, because I've tried this Duat cream because a family friend recommended it because her daughter was on it as well. So I used that. That didn't really help, and I used that for I think 2-3 years. At first obviously it worked, but after a while your skin gets used to it, and it wasn't that strong of like a medication. So yeah, and then when I actually went to China late last year, my skin cleared up just before I left the UK and arrived in China. Like, literally my skin was so good. But then when I came back, I think after 2 months, 3 months or something, my skin started going really bad again. So then my skin has not become that clear since, and I got physically upset about it, kept complaining to my parents about it, saying like, I don't like this, it's killing my self-confidence, because I do not really eat oily foods. I don't snack that often either, and I clean my bedding quite often, so I don't know where this is coming from. Like, it should be over now. I'm 20, I should not be having this severe acne. So not that I'm saying like you're not supposed to, everyone's different, but I'm just like, well, I just want clear skin. So I went to the doctors again. Hopefully this cream works. If this cream doesn't work, then I feel like I have no other options, because I am actually not going to be turning towards Accutane or any like pills that I have to ingest to clear this up, because like I said, I'm not ruining my body just so that I have one part of my physical self look good, because then the damage is for life. So yeah, and unfortunately with this bit, I feel like with my skin, a lot of people can't really give me advice, because I've gone to see the doctor myself about it, and obviously dermatologist wait list in the UK is actually atrocious. So yeah, for now, hopefully this tret works. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It was definitely something I feel like needs to be talked about more, just because I feel like when people talk about self-confidence, it's more about physical looks of, if they think they're pretty or they're skinny or whatever it is. Like, self-confidence is more than just what you physically look like. It's about like, obviously it's about mental and what you think, but also just like other factors like skills and stuff like that, or feel like you're smart or not. I feel like a lot of that bit is dismissed when it comes to confidence. Not really dismissed, but just not thought about as much compared to like the physical side of talking about confidence. So yeah. Anyways, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're listening to this on YouTube, or follow this podcast if you're listening on Spotify. And like I said, comments will be opened on Spotify, so you can drop any advice in the comments. Same with YouTube, you can always drop comments there. And make sure you follow my personal accounts on TikTok and Instagram. Of course, I post on there, and dance covers and stuff, and any other silly videos. And make sure you download or vote this podcast on Spotify. And I hope you guys take care of yourselves, because part of growing your self-confidence is making sure that you feel good about yourself, which is taking care of yourself. Self-care, always on top, always. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Take care. Bye bye.